What's up, everybody? Squirrel Man's back again. I'm making like back-to-back videos right now because I'm just sitting here in this truck stop in Maryland, bored. Um, I feel like I've been lacking in my content for the last month, and there's been a very good reason for it, but I'm not going to go into that. Um, the reason why I wanted to make this video, I put out some videos a little bit ago, or like a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, that had a lot of comedy in them, and I kind of miss doing that. I've been wanting to do it, like two certain videos for the longest time, but I've just been kind of working up the motivation to do them, because when I make videos like that, I have to be in a certain mood, like I have to have a certain happiness about me in the moment. You know what I'm saying? There's this story I really wanted to tell, but to make that story make sense, I have to give you a bit of a backstory. You know what I'm saying? For my dedicated viewers, and I know who you are. When I was growing up, I got four brothers. I'm the second oldest, so I got my older brother. And when I was younger, around like 12, 13 years old, I kind of started calling him, and he doesn't realize this, but I always kind of looked at him as like this Captain America figure. And there's a really good reason for that. I'm about to tell you why. When we were younger, for the longest time, for years, I followed my brother everywhere. I really did. I followed him everywhere. And he was so cool about it, because a lot of brothers would tell their little brother to piss off. I go away, blah, blah, blah. He never once did that. Never once. And I always thought that was so cool when we were younger, because a lot of older siblings will push away their younger ones. But he never did that. That was like his natural leadership capability, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more. When we were... When I was about 12 years old and he was like 15, we moved to Virginia and started like a whole new life, man. My dad moved us down there for his job, and like everything just like rebooted. You know what I'm saying? My brother, this was when that movie, remember Encino Man, for all you Gen X and millennials, you guys remember Pauly Shore and stuff like that? You remember that movie? My brother had this huge hair like this, and I remember the neighbor kid used to make fun of him for it. Always used to call him Stony Crusty Dude with the mop on top. I know you guys remember that, right? For you older guys. But anyway, he didn't really have a whole lot going for him, he had his hobbies like skateboarding and stuff like that, but other than that, he didn't have a whole lot going for him, And then we moved to Virginia, and he started his sophomore year in high school, and then he wanted to get into sports, so he got into wrestling. And it super, like, immediately took off for him. It was like he found his niche, and my parents were like so proud of him, right? And anyway, his coach, his name was Coach Davis. He was an awesome guy. He was like, he could not have had a better coach. The guy was super disciplined. He was a really good person to follow around. He had really good advice. He was just an all-around good guy. My parents loved him because he was such a role model figure for my brother, And my brother did like a complete 180 of his personality within just months, He shaved that stupid hair off, and he became like really athletic. He lost a bunch of weight. And if any of you have ever been into high school wrestling, or maybe you did college wrestling, the amount of discipline it takes to do that sport. I mean, it is so disciplined because you have to maintain a certain weight, and you have to work out like crazy. The workouts are insane. I remember I used to go work out once in a while with his wrestling team, because I was like a junior league, like in the middle school, and then like every once in a while I would go work out with them, and it would just be complete brutal hell. It was absolutely brutal. I wasn't used to it, and getting through the warm up was just insane. It's like, and once the warm up's over, you think practice is over. It's like it hasn't even started yet. And when you're a kid, you're just like, when are we going to tap out? Who's going to ring the bell? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is brutal, So that's a little bit of a backstory on my brother's character around the time of the story I'm about to tell you. because like I said, he really looked up to his coach. His coach was like a super big role model. He had so much respect for this guy, you know, and my parents loved it. I thought it was awesome, you know, even though I didn't have anything going on for me at the time. All I did was skateboard, ride dirt bikes, and party with my friends all the time, you know. But other than that, I didn't really have anything going on for me, you know. I said girls, I was super into girls and still am. I always had girls calling the house all the time when I was younger, man, blowing up the phones. I remember one night I'm sitting up in my bedroom. I'm like 12, 13 years old, somewhere around there, right? And I'm sitting there talking to this girl, and I'm like, yeah, baby, blah, blah, blah. I'm like feeding her all the baloney, you know, like a kid does, right? And I'm sitting there talking to her, and all of a sudden, I get a call waiting, right? I'm like, oh, hold on, babe. Hold on 1 second. I got a call waiting. And I'm like, bloop. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? I answer the phone like that, right? And then all of a sudden I hear, excuse me, is Mr. Captain America there, right? And then I'm like, hold on a second, man, I got you. And I'm like, bloop, and then I'm like, oh, hold on, babe, I gotta go. My brother's got a phone call, right? So I'm like, I'll call you back later, right? So I clicked the phone back over, and my brother lived in the basement. We had like a finished basement. It was super nice, but he was 2 floors down. I was all the way on the top. So I run down there, gave him the phone, right? I come back upstairs, and like 15 minutes later, I'm sitting in my bedroom jamming out to some music, and all of a sudden I hear boom, 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 like all the way up. I'm like, what the hell is that noise? That's my brother hauling ass up 2 flights of stairs and goes blamming through my door and just starts beating the shit out of me. And I'm like, Mom, like, what the hell's going on? He's like, that's the way you answer the phone? And he's just like, bam, beating the shit out of me. I'm like, Mom, screaming for my mom, right? And he's like, that's not the way you answer the phone. He's like, I just got cussed at for you, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. You know, after that, I swear to God, I never answered the phone like that ever again. I was like, yeah, excuse me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know, I tried to sound all proper after getting my ass whooped, you know? But that was like one of the funniest memories I have of my older brother, like at that time. And I really needed to give you guys that backstory for this other story I'm going to give you guys later, you know, because that's why I really started calling him Captain America. Because to give you even more of a story, my brother totally went in the right direction in his life. You know, I always admired him. You know, once he graduated high school, he went to college, he did college, you know, and then he joined the military and went super far in the military, did really cool stuff, you know, and he was a leader. He retired as a major, you know. It was like super awesome. I always admired him for all that stuff, right? So that was like, that I had to give you that backstory so you would appreciate this other story I'm going to give you guys later. If you have any stories about your siblings, especially if you're a younger one, like me, I'm like I said, I'm the second oldest of 5 boys. And we all got stories, man. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Common sense ain't common.